Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Andrea with Breaking Bread. This is part 2 of the video, so I just want to welcome you guys back. Today's going to be a little bit different, just like I said in my last video. We're doing a Blue Apron cooking review. My last video, I went over all of my pros and cons of whether or not I like the Blue Apron meal order systems. If you want to hear that video, just hit the link in the description box and it'll take you back to that video first. This video, I'll be cooking through a Blue Apron meal. It will be pasta bolognese with garlic ricotta. We're gonna cook through the meal and I'm gonna explain exactly the things that the Blue Apron people describe for you to do, but I'm also going to add a way to upgrade Blue Apron meals because me personally think they lack flavor. So I always add some extra ingredients and things to the meals in order to upgrade the Blue Apron meal. So this is gonna be a Blue Apron meal upgrade. So stay tuned, keep watching, hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you can always stay tuned into my channel, and let's get cooking. So we're gonna start cooking this meal. Like I said, it's pasta bolognese with ricotta, garlic ricotta. The Blue Apron sent a yellow onion with the meal, but I accidentally lost it. So the only thing I had in my fridge was this red onion. So we're gonna just improvise and we're gonna use red onion. I normally would not use red onion in a pasta dish or any kind of like meat sauce, but because I lost it, we're doing what we have to do. They usually send most of the things in the knick-knack bag that I described in my previous video about my review of Blue Apron. But when it's an onion or a garlic, they do not send it, or any kind of large peppers. They send them separately, and then sometimes I lose them. So they go in my refrigerator, and then I end up using them on something else that was unrelated to Blue Ribbon, and then I don't have them. So we're using this red onion. We're also, today my daughter's here. She's gonna help us out. I'm gonna read through the directions. And then as I read through, she's going to go ahead and start like working on this. So it says here that we're going to fill a large pot 3/4 of the way with boiling water because we are going to boil this pasta. And then the next thing we're going to do, she's going to start working on these carrots here. It says wash, dry, and peel the carrots, halve them lengthwise, and then thinly slice them crosswise. So she's going to work on those carrots while I'm going to go over here to the stove and just put our pasta over here and salt our water. I like to salt the pasta water because it just helps absorb a little bit of the salt flavor into the pasta while it's cooking. Then after she's doing the carrots, we already did the onion. I did that when you guys first saw me on the camera. And then she's gonna also rough chop these peppers right here. This says it's a pickled goat horn pepper. Never heard of it. First time for me to have a pickled goat horn pepper. But that's one thing I said on my pros and cons video of the Blue Apron, is that it forces you to use ingredients that you've never used before. So I'm excited to find out what a pickled goat horn pepper is. And if I like it, hey, maybe it'll be something that I'll incorporate into my daily cooking, even without Blue Apron. And then we're gonna peel some garlic. They do give you this clove of garlic that came with the Blue Apron, but I always keep a bag of already peeled garlic cloves so that I don't have to do that much work of peeling when I'm ready to cook. So I'm gonna throw 2 or 3 of those on here. One of the things that I said I was going to do in this video was also show you how I upgrade the Blue Apron, because Blue Apron usually doesn't have enough flavor for my family's liking. They like flavor. So there's gonna be a few ingredients that are not on the Blue Apron list that I'm gonna add. So if you have Blue Apron and you wanna follow along with this recipe, I'm also gonna tell you when I insert other things. One of the things that I'm going to insert is some garlic. It does call for 1 clove of garlic, but I am gonna add 3 additional cloves of garlic when I saute the meat. So one of the things we're gonna do is grate one of these garlics for part of the Blue Apron recipe. And then my daughter's gonna rough chop the other garlic because I'm gonna add that into the meat. Now that's gonna be 3 additional cloves of garlic that is not recommended on the Blue Apron list, but we're gonna add some flavor to our meat. Blue Apron, anytime you get meat, all they tell you to do is use salt and pepper. No disrespect to Blue Apron, but I'm Black and we like flavor. So, and if there's any Black people at Blue Apron, I'm sorry, but they need to get some diversity on their team and add some more flavor in there. And if there is diversity, maybe they're just trying to be easy because they don't want to expect you to have a lot of ingredients at home. And that is why they don't add a lot of added things. But I like to cook. I have a lot of added ingredients at home, so I will be adding some additional flavor to my Blue Apron. That is the grated clove of garlic that we're going to use for the recipe that they give us, and the 3 additional cloves my daughter will chop up. On top of the additional cloves of garlic, I will also be adding a half of green bell pepper and a half of red bell pepper and 1 Roma tomato. All of those things were not on the Blue Apron list, but they are going to take our sauce here, our meat sauce, our bolognese, as they say, from 0 to hero, okay? You want to take your meat from 0 to hero. Follow Drea's instructions to upgrade the Blue Apron. I'm gonna open our meat and I'm gonna come over here to our pan that we already have heating up. So we're gonna take our ground beef that comes with our Blue Apron kit. One thing that I do like about Blue Apron, I'm gonna keep saying what I do, my do's and don'ts of this as I go along. One of my do's is they do give you premium meat. This is grass-fed premium beef, 100% grass-fed, pasture-raised, no sub-therapeutic antibiotics, no added hormones. So this is a really high quality pack of beef here, and for the overall cost, not expensive. Like I said in my last video, it is exactly the portion size that you request. If you say 4, it is exactly enough for 1 portion for 1 person for 4 people. So you don't get a lot, but you do get a high quality of meat. I'm gonna go ahead and add that meat over here. I hope you guys can see me behind my daughter here. To some warm olive oil in our pan over here. And with that, my daughter's gonna go ahead and add that garlic she just chopped to the pan. And she's gonna also add this onion she just chopped to the pan. Now, in this step on the Blue Apron, I'm gonna read what they have to you, but we're gonna watch me. Okay, so in a large pan, we're gonna drizzle the olive oil. The olive oil also has to come from your own pantry. They do expect you to have your own salt, pepper, and olive oil. Add the beef and the sliced carrots, and we're gonna season with salt and pepper. I'm not adding the sliced carrots yet. We're gonna leave that out for 1 minute. We're gonna also chop up the peppers and that tomato, and that's gonna go in before I add the carrots. And then you're just going to kind of mince this up with the onion, the garlic, the peppers, and the tomato. You're going to chop that all up, and you're going to add that to your pan.
So you have to grate this cheese, the grano padano. It's a block of cheese.
All right, I'm over here browning this meat. Blue Apron's recipe recommends 4 to 5 minutes of saute time. I think this has been a little longer than the 4 to 5 minutes because you want to make sure it's all chopped up and all the red is out of the meat. All right, I'm going to turn down the heat, and after a little bit more than the 4 to 5 minutes for the cook time on the meat, turn the heat down on low, and I'm just going to move my pot off the heat for 1 second while I open the tomatoes. Now, on the recipe here, it says, you know, break the meat apart with a spoon for 4 to 5 minutes or until lightly browned. Then you're going to add in the vegetable, which we already did, and you're going to season with salt and pepper, and we did that. And you're going to cook an additional 3 to 4 minutes. So that's why I said you're going to cook it a little longer than the 4 to 5 minutes. The total cook time is going to be about closer to 10 minutes. And once the beef is cooked and cooked through, you're going to add the chopped peppers. So I'm just waiting here. I moved my beef off the heat, and I'm waiting for the peppers to get chopped by my assistant over here. Then after the peppers, we're going to add the tomatoes. This is what they give you. It's a can of crushed tomatoes that comes along with your Blue Apron box. And we'll add that after we add the peppers. And saute the peppers for about 1 to 2 minutes. The peppers just need a rough chop, nothing crazy. Like I said, I've never used these peppers before. Why are you abusing the peppers? Here, add them to the pot, please. Where's the lid from the peppers? Do you have that still?
No, it didn't have a lid.
Oh, okay, no problem. Add that in. And then we are going to saute that in. I also have my pot over here with the boiling water going so that we have a pot here for our meat, and then I also have the pasta cooking in a separate pot over here on the side.
Okay, so after you grate the cheese, you're gonna need to combine this ricotta cheese that it comes with. Combine this in a bowl with ricotta, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I have my measures. There's some right here.
Now, I sauteed.
You need to put the ricotta, the olive oil, and the garlic in a bowl, and then put salt and pepper and mix it up. Then just mix it until combined. Okay.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and after all of our vegetables and meat have pretty much been cooked through, I'm gonna add the can of sauce that they give you. This is this can of crushed tomato given to us by Blue Apron.
What's your sauce?
That's not yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and just combine that in, and after it adds the tomato, the directions say add another little bit of salt and pepper to the sauce. And then we will go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. So I salt and pepper my sauce and just let that all kind of work itself in for a few minutes. And then we will add the rest of the sauce here. All right, so it says on here, add the tomatoes carefully as the liquid may splatter. Cream and Worcestershire sauce, season with salt and pepper. So I added the salt and pepper and the tomatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and add the cream. This is not the cream that we need, actually. See, almost made a mistake. This right here is the cream that we need. That is the ricotta. So the cream that we need is in this little packet. We're gonna add the cream. To this. And then we are going to add the ricotta. I mean the Worcestershire sauce that comes with the Blue Apron. One thing that's really cool about Blue Apron too, most of the sauces are vegan or vegetarian sauce. So if they can be interchanged, like if you used Impossible meat or something in this, you could then use the same sauce and still be able to do this recipe as a vegetarian recipe. It wouldn't be vegan, obviously, it still has the cream, but it could be at least a vegetarian option if you wanted to transfer out the Worcestershire sauce. I mean the meat for like Impossible meat or some kind of plant-based meat. I'm gonna turn off my pasta over here. I'm gonna drain this and then we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, so now our sauce is pretty much done. It's turned down to low. The sauce has all the vegetables that we added, and it also has the cream that came in the packet with the Blue Apron meal. I'm gonna now add the pasta that we cooked earlier. It's already been drained, and we're gonna add that into the sauce. This is about like a rigatoni type pasta that comes with the meal. And we're gonna add that in, and we're gonna definitely coat that on here with the sauce. Now, once you add the pasta in, you're gonna coat the whole entire pasta with the sauce while this is on low heat. One thing I do like about this recipe, like I said, you can add your own ingredients. Like you guys can see in there that the carrots and the pickled goat pepper was from the Blue Apron, but I also added my own green and red bell pepper. I added my own onion, and I added my own seasonings. I'm always like a season to taste type person, so once you like evenly coat the noodles, you can taste, and then if you need to add more salt and pepper or any other flavors, you can do that at that time. I'm also going to go ahead, it comes with a mascarpone cheese with the Blue Apron, and we're going to go ahead and add that in as well. And that is also going to now get added in to the mascarpone cheese. If you haven't had it before, is like a sweeter, almost in the family of a cream cheese, but very similar to a cream cheese. Like a cross between a cream cheese and a ricotta cheese. Very creamy, adds a creamy texture to whatever you're adding it to. It can also be used in desserts because it's a very mild flavor, so it doesn't overpower the dish. Since it's already really warm, it's easy to incorporate that mascarpone cheese. And that's pretty much the dish. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna plate it, and then we add the garlic ricotta on top. Okay, so now that we've completed our pasta dish, I'm gonna go ahead and plate this in a bowl so that we can give it to our lovely taste testers in the background. Once you just spoon in some of that nice pasta and sauce that we made, we also made the garlic ricotta, which they suggest you put on the top, and garnish with the Parmesan cheese. And that's that. This is the upgraded version of the Blue Apron pasta bolognese. My recipe's are slightly more challenging, just a few extra ingredients, really not more challenging, just a few added ingredients. If you want to stick directly to the Blue Apron paper, then I mean, take out a few extra ingredients and a few extra steps, and pretty much the same dish. So that is it. Time to eat.